Greetings, everyone. Well, today it's package opening time again. Ooh, bit of a heavy one. I got a pizza from cynical44. He thought I might like to see what pizza down in his area of the States is like, and yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. It only took a couple of weeks to get to me, so I'm sure that it's still hot and fresh. And I don't know what kind of pizza he sent, but hey, that's all part of the surprise. So let's check it out. Pizza time on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Okay, no, of course it's not a pizza. And those of you who thought it actually was, well, you're very silly people indeed. Cynical44 is, of course, a longtime viewer, frequent commenter, occasional chat room participant, and just all-around cool guy. He recently bought one of my DVDs, actually, the Zarenizer The Early Days of YouTube DVD. I don't know if he's doing a package opening video for it or what. But anyway, thank you very much, Cynical, or Clinton, as his real name is, for the support, of course. Hope you're enjoying the DVD. Now, a few weeks ago, we got to chatting in the chat room about some stuff, and he indicated that he had some things in his collection that he thought I might like to have in my collection. Specifically, there are some things that I actually used to have in my collection, but, you know, were either sold or stolen in years gone by, and are no longer a part of my collection. So I do actually know what's in here. I don't know if he sent anything else other than what we were talking about, but I guess we'll find out. So let's open her up here. Pizza box cutter activated. This is the perfect size box for what these items are. I'm actually quite impressed. And I think there's one, yeah, here. Try not to slice open any vitals. Alrighty. Oh, no, missed one. There, see, cutting away from my face. There we go. Okay. So let's open her up here. Okay, first up, we have a letter. Read. Okay, so we're going to read the letter. You can read this on camera. Well, thank you for saying so right off the bat. That definitely saves me some time. Sean, Zarenizer, how are you? Hopefully after your horrendous moving experience, things have finally stabilized. They're getting there. They're getting there. There's still a little bit of work to do, but at least as far as the living arrangements go, things are pretty much status quo now. As for me, I've been watching your channel for about 3 years and hardly ever miss a video. Yeah, I thought I'd seen your name around for quite some time, so I was right in saying longtime viewer. I showed up to your Friday night chat about a month ago and thoroughly enjoyed talking with everyone during your last night your last night at the old apartment. During that chat, you had mentioned you no longer had the items in this box. And of course, I had to send them. It was the very least I could do considering how much entertainment you've given me over the years. These are both doubles in my collection, so I won't have to pine over the loss too much, haha. The packaging of each is a little beat up, but should still play fine. Looking forward to many more years of your videos. Take care, Clinton, Cynical44. Alrighty, so let's take a look-see here. Some really cool stuff. Oh, man. Okay. I can see what one of them is. I'm just gonna hide it here. It's some tape. I just want to get the tape off very carefully. Man, this is awesome. Okay, you're gonna be impressed, I think, when you see this here. Very careful. Okay, so first up, we haven't even started yet. First, but most definitely not least, we have a laserdisc the Criterion Collection edition of Blade Runner. In like a nice, it's kind of like a comic bag for laserdiscs, or I guess for records or whatever. But this one is really nice. Actually, I don't know. This doesn't look beat up at all. This may actually be better condition than my old copy. So here's the thing. This is the CLV edition, the single disc edition that just has the movie on it. There's no extras. There is pretty extensive liner notes, though, if you see on the back there. I should mention, just to backtrack for a second here, this was actually the very first Laserdisc I ever bought, and for a long time was the only Laserdisc I ever had. This is back in 1991. You've probably seen on some of the retro videos I talked about this specific edition a number of times. And sadly, it was one of the many items that was stolen from my house in 1993. You will see retro videos about that at some point as well, and you get the whole story there. But this is the international cut, for those of you wondering. It is the version with the narration. This came out, this Criterion release actually came out long before the director's cut that removed the narration. I also did own the director's cut on Laserdisc as well. But again, that's long gone. But yeah, basically, I really wanted to get this back in the collection, and it's been kind of a, you know, a little mini holy grail quest for me for a very long time. And it's hard to find because it's a collector's item. Obviously, a lot of people want this in their collections because it's, you know, it's the Criterion version of Blade Runner. I mean, for a long time, this was the absolute best quality version you could have, period, on any format. That has, of course, now been supplanted by the Blu-ray editions. But in terms of SD video, I mean, this was vastly superior to the original DVD release that came out. It is, of course, letterbox, not anamorphic widescreen, but it is the full widescreen image and whatnot. And but this is great. I mean, I used to watch this. I drove my friends and my girlfriend at the time crazy because I would rewatch this so many times. But this disc is largely, pretty much solely responsible for my lifelong love of this movie, because it was the only Laserdisc I had for a very long time. I just really enjoyed the picture quality and the sound quality, and just kept watching it over and over and over again. And I read the liner notes quite extensively, which, you know, at the time there really wasn't any behind the scenes stuff about it other than, you know, some magazine articles and whatnot. So this, you know, few paragraphs of text here was a real eye-opener for me as to, you know, I guess the depth of the film, and a little bit of, you know, I think there's a little bit of behind the scenes info here. Very little behind the scenes info. It's basically just more just a little essay about the film itself. But yeah, this is the exact, I'm just looking here, first printing 1989. I don't know if you can see that, but on the back there, yeah, that's really good. Anyway, just in the corner there, it gives you the printing info. I don't know that they ever did a second printing, but anyway, it's very, very nice. I'm just beside myself with joy here. I mean, this is like a piece of my personal history right here, and I'm just so thrilled to finally have it back in the collection. Let's pull the music stand over, and we'll actually display this good and proper here. Sorry, I still got some of Rosie was here for a couple of weeks recently, and I still haven't quite picked up all of her stuff. But we'll just maybe if we put it over here, this be better? Sort of? Yeah, there we go. Alright, Blade Runner. There we go. That's good. Let's try to minimize the glare. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that is fantastic, Clinton. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a huge piece of my personal history in the world of video collecting and the world of Blade Runner, and just generally. That's a real nostalgic treat. Okay, and then getting on to the second item in here, this is another one that's very personally significant, because this was actually the very first collector's edition deluxe Laserdisc set I ever bought. Originally shelled out about $150 for it, Aliens, the special widescreen collector's edition. Now this is notable because this was the first time the extended version of Aliens had ever been made available in any form. And this one is quite beat up. In particular, the spine there is basically destroyed. But if you take a look here, quite nice. The thing that I always loved about this edition is it is just jam-packed with extras. I had never seen anything like this before. Just fantastic. So, yeah, so this isn't supposed to come off. I see it's obviously been well loved over the years. The contents, though, appear to be fine. We do have this big liner, this big insert here, which actually does open up. Isn't that beautiful? Lots of info in there, and then there's even more inside there. Sorry, try to. And there, lots of photos. You got cast pictures and everything. So let me quickly go over what all is on the disc here. This is a 3-disc set, as I recall. Yeah. So you got 4 discs. It's a 4-disc set, and this is a CAV edition. Now, the difference, I've mentioned this before, but for those of you who are unaware, the difference between CAV and CLV, they're both on 12-inch discs, but the difference is CLV, like this Blade Runner edition, for example, gives you a maximum of 1 hour per side of the disc. All Laserdiscs are double-sided. I'll show you, actually, with one of the Aliens discs here. Those of you who've never seen a Laserdisc before. There you go, look at that. It's basically, it's a 12-inch disc, much the same size as a record, except it has a larger, larger hole in the middle. Hello, I can see you. Anyway, yeah, so this is very nice. So the main difference is, so CLV gives you an hour per side, CAV gives you a half hour per side. But here's the catch. A lot of the older players, with CLV discs, the 1 hour per side ones, they could only play the movie. They couldn't really give you any special features. You could pause it, but it wasn't like a still frame pause. It would pause and then just like cut to a blue screen or something. And then when you took it off pause, it would jump back into the movie. Both formats had chapter coding, much like DVDs and Blu-rays do. But the big deal about having it on, having the CAV version, and why a lot of special edition movie sets were done in that format, was that CAV gave you all the full functions of the Laserdisc. So you could do still frame, you could do slow motion, you could run it forwards or backwards. And you could run it forwards and backwards perfectly. That was one of the cool things about Laserdisc that none of the digital formats can do. I mean, you can, you can take a video clip in your editor and run it backwards and render it out as a backwards video clip. But Laserdisc could do that on the fly. It could do it while you were watching. You could go back and forth as much as you want, and because it's a disc, not a physical, there's no actual physical contact, you're not wearing out the disc or anything like that. The other thing was you could switch between audio tracks instantaneously. It would just automatically flip over. In fact, I remember once I had a Japanese anime one called Hakenden, Legend of the Dog Warriors, and that was really good. And it had 2 audio tracks. It had the English audio track and the Japanese audio track, and then there was the closing theme song. The closing theme song was the same for both the English and Japanese version. However, the English version had English lyrics, the Japanese version had Japanese lyrics. So one time, a friend and I were watching it, and as we were listening to the closing theme song, I was switching back and forth between the Japanese and English every other line of the song. So it's like we had this combined Japanese and English mix of the song, and it was perfect. It was like instantaneous. So it would have like an English word, and then it would flip over to a Japanese line, then an English word. Then it was fun. I guess you had to be there. But anyway, so the big drawback, of course, to CAV format, just getting back to the differences here, is that, of course, you only get a half hour per side. So for something like Aliens, especially the Aliens extended cut, which is like 2.5 hours long, the movie's basically on 5 sides of the disc. So every 25, 30 minutes or so, you have to switch. You have to either flip the discs or switch to another disc. The thing that I loved about this Alien set, though, and and the reason I was so gaga over it was the extras. It had a huge package of extras. Again, on CAV discs and taking full advantage of the still frame capabilities of the CAV format. So the extras were not like what you see nowadays, where it's just basically featurettes and you know, commentaries and whatnot. I don't think this actually does have a commentary, but if I remember correctly, no, it doesn't have a commentary. But what it does have is an extensive behind-the-scenes. It's kind of like a combination of video clips, still photos, and a hell of a lot of text. It's basically like a digital book. Where you literally step frame through pages of text that give you information about the making of the film. It goes through the entire process of making the film, right from concept through all the way through production, pre-production, filming, post-production, special effects, marketing, critical reception, everything. It gives you the whole works in this, really detailed extras package that takes up. It's basically, because it's just single frames, it doesn't take up that much actual space. So it's basically the fourth disc on this was nothing but extras. It was this whole behind-the-scenes package that it literally take you a few days to get through everything. It's just a massive, massive collection. To give you some idea of what all is in that, they give you a little summary on the back here. Exclusive collectors section, which includes an interview with James Cameron, behind-the-scenes footage, production artwork from the collections of James Cameron, Ron Cobb, and Sid Mead, original visual effects storyboards, and materials from the collections of Robert Skotak, Dennis Skotak, and Stan Winston, rare production photographs, screenplay excerpts, annotated history of the production, and original advertising materials. Yeah, so I guess the movie was actually on 6 sides. I see it's 254 minutes. Yeah, I think they split it up across the first 3 discs pretty evenly, and then the 4th disc was at that entire collector's section, as they call it. Now, good news, if you want to check out all the extras from this Aliens collection, you don't have to get a Laserdisc player, and you don't have to track down this edition, because they actually put the entire extras package from this. There was another set exactly like this done for the first Alien. So the first 2 Alien movies had deluxe editions like this. I never actually had the first one, but a friend of mine in university had it, and he lent it to me for a while, and I spent a few days going through the extras on it, and it was similarly comprehensive. But the good news is they actually put the entire extras package on the DVD box set, the Alien Anthology, and the Blu-ray version of the box set. It's on one of the supplemental discs under a section called Laserdisc Archives, and it contains the entire extras section, frame by frame, the whole works, absolutely everything as it was originally presented on these Laserdiscs. Plus, it also contains the one from the Alien set, so you can actually get those extras for your Alien collection quite easily now. So I thought that was really awesome. That's one of the things. Actually, you may recall when I did my Alien quadrilogy set review, the DVD set, I gushed about that quite a bit. Well, this is the set that I was talking about in that, where all those awesome extras were from. Oh, wow. Yeah, can you tell? These two in particular, were 2 of my most prized Laserdiscs for a long time, and 2 that I would use as show-off discs all the time. This was a big deal because this was the only way you could see the extended version of Aliens for a very long time. It wasn't until years later it was put out on DVD, but for, I'd say almost a good 10 years, this was the only way you could see the extended version. And Blade Runner, well, it's the frickin' Criterion version of Blade Runner. I mean, how can you go wrong? There is a CAV edition of this, which I never had, which apparently does have a few extras on it, but, whatever. I wanted the version that I had, because it's more a nostalgia thing for me than it is, having the content. It'd be nice to track down the CAV edition at some point, but, for me, this was the one that was important, because it was, as I say, my very first Laserdisc. Not too shabby. Well, I think that is it. Let me just double check here. I think that's everything. Yes, awesome. Wow, thank you so, so much, Clinton. That is absolutely fantastic. Can you tell I'm excited? I actually do have the Laserdisc player hooked up as well. I think I might give these a spin tonight, just for old time's sake. It'd be awesome to see the Laserdisc of Blade Runner again after so long. Man. So thank you so much. I really cannot begin to express how much I appreciate you sending these to me to get back in the collection. You know, almost 20 years after they went missing. Man. Alrighty. Well, folks, that is it from me to you for now. Be sure to check out cynical44's YouTube page. He recently did a collaboration with Planet Beer Wagon as well, where they were opening up some Masters of the Universe figures, like the new collectors ones that Matty Collector's been doing for the past few years. Yeah, so check out his stuff. He's a cool guy. He's awesome, and thank you very much, Clinton. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the YouTube early days DVD there as well. Alrighty, well, that is it for me to you for now, folks. I'm gonna go, I think, shower, shave, and film some more updates and reviews and all the usual Multimedia Chronicles stuff. Alrighty, take care. Till next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.